Hello and welcome to another Happy Pod. What episode is this?
This is 97, I believe.
Hello and welcome to the 97th episode of another Happy Pod. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host and good friend, Lawrence Thomas Heisey. Hello.
Hello, Nathan, but no one cares about that. What's the show? What are we doing? What's the show thing?
Don't know. You tell me.
I feel like this is another trap. I feel like we've both got guns on each other right now.
Well, you've Mr. Big Bollocks over there. If you
Okay.
think you can sneak in and do it all fine, then go ahead.
Nathan, this is the show where we talk about pop culture, movies, TVs, games,
Or pop culture.
Or pop culture, as we like to say, and we try and find the positive. We are not two incels, although we both have beards and receding hairlines. So we try and find the positives. We don't always succeed, but we like to give it a best go, and we have a jolly good time while we do so. But Nathan, no one cares about that. How are you?
No one cares about that.
No, I flipped it this time.
No, I don't care. Do you have a question?
I do. Are you jumping in straight away?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess we should pad, because
Yeah, I think we need to do a bit of padding.
we might struggle.
I've had a tipple, but it has not affected my motor capabilities, and I'm doing just fine.
I have not had a tipple because I do not drink.
Do you? I feel like we've had this conversation before, but do you not drink, or do you just not really do you know what I mean? Like you haven't made a conscious choice to be sober.
No, I'm not sober.
Because the last time you were here, last time you were at my house, you got
Yeah.
rat-arsed.
The last time we were together, I did get very drunk, and honestly, that was actually the last time that I was drunk.
Yeah,
which was
that's probably
over
why
a
you
year
got so
ago
fucked.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely contributed. And in between then, I've had a few glasses of wine here and there.
What's your wine? Is it still at uni? Me and Nathan did this thing where we'd, for some reason, just get a cheeky Chardonnay every now and then to the table.
I like a Chardonnay. I like a Pinot. These days, I'm more of a rosé gentleman. A nice rosé.
Are you an ice in your rosé, or are you like?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it chilled. I like it to be in the fridge for a little while before. But having some ice cubes in there just feels wrong somehow.
I know what you mean, but then I feel like the people that say, "Oh, no, you can't have ice in your wine," are typically the people that wouldn't dare look at rosé. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, probably, but I mean, I'm not a wine snob. I'll drink anything.
Yeah, I've seen you neck back a bottle of Lambrini before. Is that outside the UK? Is that a thing outside?
Lambrini?
Yeah.
I don't know. To be honest.
If it's not, it's basically the most disgusting kind of grape flavored cider/piss vinegar wine you'll ever taste.
Yeah,
and it's a massive bottle for about £3.
Yeah, it's not great, but it'll get you there. It'll get you where you need to
It
go.
will definitely do that. Yeah, that's for sure.
But rest assured, feel free to bleep this out, but come I will be very drunk.
I'll bleep the date, but I appreciate the sentiment. Just in case any of our flocks of fans show up begging to come in.
Because it's your wedding day.
It is my wedding day. That is correct.
Well, not today, but the day.
Can you imagine? It's my wedding day, and I'm like, I've got to go and podcast right now. I'm in a broom cupboard at my event.
Well, maybe. We'll probably be podcasting at least the day before, or the day after, or on the honeymoon. Who knows?
No,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will. We'll get there.
So, what are we doing?
What we're doing, Nathan, is not technically recording the 97th episode.
Well, no, we are recording the 97th. If you're talking, we are recording the episode that will be labelled as the 97th episode, but we're not recording the 97th episode in sequential order.
Technically, this will be our 98th episode. Actually, no, it will be our 97th.
It'll be like our fucking 121st or something, given the amount of fucking ones we've lost. But
I feel like, you know that meme where like every time like a meme or celebrity dies, it goes to that picture of like heaven with an awful PNG of them.
No,
it's a good meme. I feel like we need one for our lost episodes, because there's Hamilton, Ready Player One.
I know the Simpsons meme, because there's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer's mum is in it, and then she dies. And there's the ending of that episode is just Homer sat on his car looking up at the sky, and it's just a really beautiful ending to the episode.
I've seen that as your background a few times.
It has been my background in the past, yeah. And then what usually happens is I'm in a Simpsons meme group, a few Simpsons meme groups. They often post like the latest celebrity death onto that image.
It's not that, but it's the same concept. Basically, we need one of those for our lost episodes, of which there are too many.
Yes. So what you're alluding to, if I may, is the fact that we have recorded our 100th episode.
Yep.
With a special guest and another special guest that turned out to be a surprise
for everyone involved.
For everyone. We had secured a special guest and we're like, this is going to be great. And then another special guest showed up and we're like, oh, this is going to be great too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I didn't realise, and this will become much clearer in the coming weeks, what I didn't realise is this is actually the first time those two people have collaborated on something.
Oh, really?
In terms of a podcast, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, he told me, so I'm just going off what he said. I haven't done my research on it.
We're very excited. So 3 more weeks for that.
Yep.
So is there anything that we can tease? Just a one-word thing?
No, there's nothing we can tease yet. You have to be patient. You have to...
I will give a one-word tease, and that one word is. I probably should have thought of it before I said this.
That's useless.
No. Okay, so my one. I don't know why I said that like I thought of it. My one-word tease is. It's a 2-word tease, and it's Chris Evans.
I mean, yeah, it's not. Chris Evans isn't guesting.
Well, maybe.
Maybe he is. Who knows? Yeah. You'll have to tune in and find out.
You'll have to come back on the when is it? The 5th of December or something?
Believe it goes out the 14th of December. I could be wrong.
No, you are wrong. You're definitely wrong.
Tenor says I'm not wrong.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shit.
No, you said it.
No, fuck, I am wrong.
You said it. I fucking knew it. Yeah, £10, please.
Oh, fuck it. Right, fine.
The 2nd of December.
No, you're wrong as well.
Yep, so I am. The
9th. Tenor says it's the 9th. Tenor says it's the 9th.
No, you've already lost that.
It cancels out.
No, it doesn't. I never said £10. It does not cancel out. You owe me £10.
All right, I'll tell you what. We've had 10 minutes of padding now, which will fill out any dead air we have on this episode, I reckon. I have a question for you, Nathan. Another happy question. There's the theme. Isn't that such a good theme?
It's great.
I was going to ask you if you could have any funny person do a robot voice. And then I remembered I've already asked you that.
Have you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I asked you that in the Rogue One episode. So this time I'm going to ask you, what invention would you make that you would love but would be absolutely useless to literally anyone but you? Maybe there's someone else on the planet that could like it, but it would primarily serve your function, something that you want, a convenience for you. But yeah, you've got, if you don't know what we do, I ask Nathan a question at the start of every episode, or we get 10 minutes in because we're padding for time. I will give him a would you rather, a hypothetical, a yes or a no. It will probably be somewhat loosely related to the topic we're talking about, which today is Brian and Charles. And we will then, we'll revisit Nathan at the end of the podcast, and we will see what he's been stewing on, what he's been thinking up.
You trying to make the word count?
No, I was trying to go for it quickly, and then I realised, I could segue beautifully into starting on Brian and Charles here, and then I remembered I didn't say that we'd come back to it later on. So people might just think, new listeners might just think, they've forgotten about it. Nathan didn't even give his answer. But that's not true. We come back to it later on. It's a confusing format, and now I feel I've really reached the word count. Brian and Charles, Nathan.
It is a movie that we have watched for this podcast.
It is.
Brian and Charles. Now, I had never heard of this.
Yep.
You one day said, let's do Brian and Charles. And I said, what's that? And you said, here's a trailer. And then I watched the trailer, and I was like, yeah, that looks pretty fun. Why not? And then the more I thought about it, the more I realised this is just one of those indie, quirky film festival movies that almost no one will have seen.
Yeah.
Will go for, I don't know, an average film length, but it will just be something that has a start, middle, and end, and not much else to it, and really not a lot to say about it.
As in, the movie doesn't have much to say, or you don't have much to say about the movie?
Both.
I disagree on one part. I think the movie's making a pretty clear thesis of what it's trying to do.
Don't be bad.
No, it's not don't be bad, is it?
It's, well...
I mean, yeah, right. I mean, every indie movie like this, to an extent, is probably a little bit of don't be bad.
I feel like I'm being unnecessarily harsh.
I feel like you are as well. Need
no,
I remind you that this is what we do best. You have suggested we watch a John Lennon origin movie that no one saw that wasn't titled anything to do with the Beatles or John Lennon.
No, I'm being unnecessarily harsh. This is a fun little jaunt.
Yeah.
There's a little man and his little robot.
It's a good.
Which is always good.
It's a fun little man and his fun little robot.
He's a fun little man and his fun little robot. It's in a nice little Welsh village, which I always love.
Yep.
I always love Wales.
It's a Welsh village, but there's one main character that sounds Welsh. Everyone else is kind of not Welsh. Yeah.
Two characters.
Are you referring to one extra at the end?
No, the shop owner.
Oh, she's a little bit Welsh. Yeah, I'll give you that.
She's very Welsh.
Oh. I don't know. I'm not Welsh. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
No, you're not. Man's never spent any time in comedy.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds like an infection.
Does it, Lawrence? Does the native language of Wales and the name of their country sound like an infection?
What is it? Is that then the name of Wales in Welsh?
Comedy is Wales in Welsh. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Comedy. It says it at the end of every episode of Doctor Who.
Comedy.
Comedy.
How are you spelling that?
Cymru.
I don't know why. I asked you to spell in Welsh as if that would help.
Exactly. Just don't bother with the spelling, mate.
If you're Welsh and I offended you, I'm very sorry. I didn't know.
Plive Comedy.
Plive? I've heard of Plive.
Plive means many things. Plive Comedy is one of their political parties, which I believe is striving towards the nationalisation of Wales, as in like separating from the UK, so they can.
That's what you want.
So it can be their own independent state.
I'd like to separate from the UK to be an independent state.
Me too.
Do you want to sum up this movie, or shall I sum up this movie?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't want to.
Okay, so there is a guy, and that guy is
Brian.
Brian, yeah. And what Brian does,
Brian.
is I thought you didn't want to get involved.
Sorry.
I see you've already reached your attention threshold for the episode. Stop it. Boy. We're both playing God of War. Let's talk about the fucking movie. Right. Basically, there's a guy called Brian. He's very alone. He doesn't really have... He says by himself that his life's gone a bit tipsy-turvy. I think it's supposed to imply that he's maybe, like, either divorced or, like, had stuff going for him and then it's kind of gone downhill. Maybe I
don't pick up on any of that.
I think maybe, like, he mentions that his dad taught him a lot of stuff.
I didn't even know he said his life was topsy-turvy.
It's one of the first lines of the movie.
No, I wasn't paying attention. To me, he seems happy enough just plodding along on his own.
No, don't get me wrong. He's happy enough, but I like that. That's kind of his philosophy of, like, you know, he builds Charles and then Charles doesn't work at first and he's like, you got to keep getting up and trying something else. One door closes, another one opens. And I like that. That's, you know, upbeat and nice. And it's nice to also have, like, a weirdo kind of loner character that isn't society has mistreated me and I'm going to shoot people now. On Robert De Niro's talk show.
But he's not American, so...
He's not American. He's a good lad. He's having a good time. No, but so he builds a robot from this kind of mannequin head that he recovered from a skip of robots, yes. And a washing machine. And then antics ensue. And a mean Welsh man on an estate kidnaps Charles the robot.
It's not on an estate?
Is it not? Oh no, there's a village. And then there's this kind of... All right, I tell you what. Before you said that there's not much. This movie isn't doing much by way of saying something. What do you think it is saying? What do you think the point of the film was?
Man builds a robot. Robot is essential. It's basically a fucking fly in the nest story.
Yeah.
Kid fly in the nest story.
Yeah.
Parents having to deal with their child, you know, becoming a teenager and getting grumpy and then eventually moving on and doing their own stuff and all that. It's essentially that, but really, the movie doesn't, in my opinion, the movie doesn't really say anything other than be nice. which is good. And
That's a nice thing to say, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's nice. It's nice to be nice.
Yeah.
I like being nice, but I don't know. There's not really much more depth to it than that, really, is there?
But I don't think that... Does there necessarily have to be? It's a well-told story that is going for... Yeah, a story that's been tried and tested multiple times. But, like...
Okay.
There's loads of stuff like that you'll have watched and gone, no, it's not doing anything.
That's very true, Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I may be even harsher for just a second, okay, you're absolutely right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a movie that is pleasant enough and doesn't really have much to say. But then why the fuck are we talking about it? Because I don't know about you, but I don't know what to say.
Right, all right. Right, my attention peaked from this movie. This movie grabbed my attention from the trailer. Right, they hooked me with that.
Fun little trailer.
It's a fun little trailer, and they hooked me with that. You know, that
maybe gave away a little bit too much.
I would say it probably does a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't watch it.
Yeah, definitely don't watch it.
I mean, we're gonna give the whole thing away. So
yeah, if you haven't, I don't know. If the impossible situation occurs where you're listening to this...
I mean, no one's listening to it.
It's true, yeah. We're 20 minutes into an episode about a film no one's watched. No, I see what you're saying, because, yeah, like, it is a kind of a middle-of-the-road thing, but I also think it's a middle-of-the-road thing that's done really well, and, like...
Yeah,
there's also an element of, like... we might be the only podcast that does talk about this movie. So the people that do enjoy this movie, that love it, because this will hit a niche of people that love this film, like adore this film, because it's one of them weird little indie movies that people fall in love with.
And we come back next week with no views, then
that's fine. That's fine. We're not in it for the views, Nathan. That's what the 100th special is for.
Yeah. Look, you're absolutely right. It's a nice time for the most part. It's a fun little jaunt.
Yeah.
There's some good performances. Everyone does what they need. I mean, don't get me wrong. No one's going to win Best Actor.
No.
It's not, fucking anything you'll, I don't know, lose your mind over. But it's just a nice, pleasant time. Brian is there. Just a listening thing.
You are. What this sounds like is in we're 20 minutes into this podcast, and it sounds like we're doing a non-spoiler vague review, and we're like, we haven't talked about anything specific. All right, tell you what.
Molly from Sherlock is there.
That's where I knew her from. She is Molly from Sherlock.
She is Molly from Sherlock.
That's where I know her. Got ya. That was really bothering me the whole time.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I knew that from the trailer.
I know. I knew she was someone. I just couldn't remember who, and I knew she was in something British. I thought
Sherlock.
No, yeah, but I was thinking, knowing British indie movies, she's definitely slapped in a Doctor Who episode every now and then. She must have done one.
Don't think so.
Maybe not. It's impossible to know.
No, I have a pretty good mind for that.
You do have a very Doctor Who centric. I can was it you're watching Andor at the minute and you're just like fucking Doctor Who.
Quite a few of them as well.
Yeah, there are a few from what I've seen. All right, I tell you what. One thing that I really like in this is that there's, and I'll ask you what you think about it. There's almost an insane amount of establishing shots that focus on sheep.
A what?
An insane amount
of
establish. What did I say? I know I said it wrong now.
Establishing.
Did I say no? There's an insane amount of establishing shots that are sheep focused.
Yes, there are.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
No, there was a reason I'm going into it. I'm not just like, did you like the sheep shots, Nate?
Alright. It's just the way you said it was weird. Like, I was saying something, and then you just went, did you catch that? Alright.
Did you? What? This is one of the worst, isn't it? This is one of our worst ones.
You're gonna skip this one. Don't worry.
We're just two boys having a good time today. No, I what I liked about the all the sheep shots was that they kind of came at defining moments for the journey of Brian and Charles in terms of the idea that Brian gets.
There we go. We're getting some analysis.
Yeah, no, the movie doesn't have any symbolism in it whatsoever. Of course it does. It's an indie movie. Basically, the first time Brian gets the idea for the mannequin head, and the film kind of slows its pace from funny inventor to him having some sort of a purpose. He looks across and sees sees a sheep and a little lamb, a little baby lamb, and you get the sense that like, oh, that's what he wishes he had. And I don't know if it's saying like maybe he's looking upon like the sheep and the baby lamb and connecting with that because he can't, maybe he doesn't like resonate with like other people because he's clearly alone and he's obviously very socially awkward and doesn't have a lot of interaction with people besides Mary from Sherlock. But Molly from see, I didn't even told you.
Mary's your mum.
Mary, oh come on now. But I know I like that the sheep show up when like significant changes have happened. So like there's another moment where Charles has been kidnapped later on. He looks out in the field. There's only one sheep there, and the sheep is kind of running about a little bit and looking a bit sort of like, where is this fucking baby of mine? And then later on, when he's clearly got more of a relationship nailed down with Molly and more of a family dynamic that's healed, and he's accepted that Charles is going to flee the nest, then there's two adult sheep and the little baby lamb, which I quite liked.
Really focused in on these sheep, didn't you?
No, I just noticed it, and like halfway through, I thought, why the fuck is there so many shots of sheep? Like I was really wanting to figure it out.
I didn't give it a second thought, to be honest.
No, I mean, look, as a man that has lived in Wales, or what'd you say earlier, turmeric, or what'd you call it?
Turmeric.
What do you call it?
Well, Cumberley.
Cumberley. Right, yeah. So you grew up there, so maybe you're used to seeing more sheep.
I didn't grow up there. I lived there for 2 years when I was 18.
Yeah.
Very much grown up.
You're seeing all these sheep.
I saw a lot of sheep. Yes, there are a lot of sheep in Wales.
So maybe your mind is not, when you see plenty of sheep, maybe your mind isn't as attuned to mine going, that's an unusual amount of sheep to witness.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, most of the UK's population of sheep are in Wales and the north. So,
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that there would be sheep there. I get it.
No, but it's like you can choose what you omit from a movie. Like he didn't just shoot those sheep and go, "Oh fuck, they have to be in the film now."
No, yeah, it's clearly an intentional choice.
Yeah,
as is a lot of stuff. But yeah, sure. Sheep symbolism.
It's good. I'll ask you as well. Since our Halloween podcast. We have.
Which was that? What was that?
That was Scream 2.
Oh, Scream, of course.
Our
tradition.
Yeah, exactly. We've been wondering what makes a Chekhov's gun.
Have we? I feel like we know. I know it.
No. But like, I think it's been on this since you properly told me the definition of it, and I found out I'd been getting it wrong for like 20 years.
As you have with most things.
Oh, come on, Madam Hooched. I've been looking at it more in depth, and I would say in this movie,
yes,
that a cabbage is a Chekhov's gun.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Well done.
Fuck yeah. Okay, sick. That's good. I like that.
I mean, yeah, sure. It's... Well, yeah, you can apply the term Chekhov's gun to the cabbage, and it fits the description. It's more just a recurrent theme that pays off at the end. But... yeah, I mean, that's what a Chekhov's gun is, though.
I wouldn't have called it a Chekhov's gun if it hadn't been used in a literal gun. Like, people get shot with cabbages.
But a Chekhov's gun does not need to be an actual gun.
No, I know,
gun.
but the fact that it was a gun... I know, I get that, but the fact that it was a gun...
Anytime we see a gun in a movie going forward, it's Chekhov's gun.
That's Chekhov's gun. I know it. No, I like that. I thought that was cool. Do you know much about David Earl, who's the main actor in this, who plays Brian?
I know him from a Ricky Gervais show, which I used to watch and enjoy, but now looking back on it, it's kind of weird that Ricky Gervais just played a mentally handicapped man, and everyone was fine with that.
Yep.
But yeah,
let's segue here a minute for the runtime padding. Kind of a piece of shit, Ricky Gervais. No,
I hate him. Yeah, he's I can't stand it.
He's a lot of.
Don't tag this as Ricky Gervais as well, because he'll find it.
Oh, I know.
Because he goes out there and looks for, like, he types his name in on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he, like, if anyone says anything bad about him, he just says, yeah, well, I'm rich, so crying behind my millions of dollars. Like, all right,
it's true.
I guess. Well done.
And also, I like animals more than you, probably, so I'm a better person.
Yeah.
I like that he likes animals. I hate the fact that he just preys on every other fucking marginalized like collection of people or community out there.
What Ricky Gervais does is he makes himself being smart by writing these TV shows and creating situations which he then casts himself in and writes himself as the person who always gets the one-up on the other person so he can seem smart. And that's just all he does all the time.
Also, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're not British, we all say cunt. It's not a special thing that Ricky Gervais can pull out and the network will go, oh, all right. We all do it. It's not half as edgy as it might be in America.
No, it's just a word.
It is literally a word. Yeah,
I call my mum a cunt.
Oh no, come on, not Tess. Yeah, no, he does write. Don't get me wrong. I think his writing is sometimes like he does know how to structure a story.
Yeah.
But I would appreciate it if he injected less of his... You're in the middle of a scene and a TV show that you care about, and suddenly a dumb character will come over and be like, I love God, and Ricky Gervais is like, hang on a minute, TV show and pacing. I've got to do a 10-minute monologue as to why you're dumb and I'm better.
I haven't seen Afterlife at all, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I've seen one clip of it where Ricky Gervais, I think it's from my left, might even not be, but Ricky Gervais was in a cafe with this young boy, and they're ordering food. And the boy wants a kid's meal, and then he will go, well, we'll have 2 kids' meals. And then the waitress or whatever says, oh, you can't have that, it's for kids. And then it's just a whole 5-minute scene about Ricky Gervais trying to get around the weird way that you can't have a kid's meal if you're an adult.
Yeah.
And I just saw that, I was like, all right, great, well done. You've just made this woman's day a lot difficult. She didn't write the fucking rules, did she? All you've done is just go out of your way just to be a dick so you can save 50 pence for your chips and beans or whatever. Well done.
I like that. I picture the Ricky Gervais writing room as him by his computer. He pulls open a folder that says, jokes that didn't make it in my most recent Netflix stand-up show. And he goes, I'm just picturing him like he's reminiscing about when he went, so you know the thing I hate about kids' meals? And he's like, yeah, that didn't land. Maybe if I put it in my TV show, it's just free content at that point, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, I don't like him.
No. But yeah, no, David Earl, he's in Afterlife. He's very good in Afterlife, but he's often... Basically, my overarching point in this is he's very good at playing a weirdo, but what I don't like is because he's very good at playing a weirdo, they often make him, oh, he's the real horny weirdo. And it kind of undersells him.
Yeah.
Because he's talented. Like I can't like you said earlier, no one's winning any fucking Oscars here. This is not a best actor or best actress of the year. But what I think he is good at, and it's very nice at pulling back the curtain on everyone that's worked at retail or a part-time job where you have to deal with customer-facing roles. You've met a weirdo like this. You just have, because they exist. And what I really liked about this was it kind of pulls back the curtain on how that weirdo lives. And yeah, they're a bit awkward, and yeah, they're a bit, you might not know how to talk to them because you're 16 and you don't have many social skills or patience. But they're real people, and they can be very content in their weird little life that you don't understand.
And maybe they got a weird little robot that they built.
Yeah, maybe they do have a weird robot that I can't imagine I know he did successfully see all around the world because it's in the little postcards in the credits.
Yeah.
But how did he?
Well, how does he exist?
Right, yeah. There's a lot of hand-waving in this.
Yeah, you just don't worry about it. Doesn't matter, does it?
What I was really thinking would happen, I knew it wouldn't happen, but I thought it would be quite funny, is, at the end he's sticking his head out to wave goodbye to Brian on the platform. Just go through a tunnel and his head would just go, he'd go, oh, fuck. Just completely gets cleared by a tunnel. I thought that was fun. I've done a lot of harping on about it. It is a jaunty, fun time. What do you like about it?
I like the robot.
Yeah.
Charles is fun. Is it just a text-to-speech voice?
I think there's a physical performer, and I think it's also based...
There's obviously a physical performer.
Yeah.
Apart from when they pick him up and throw him on the bonfire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in that case, it's very much just like a mannequin in a thing.
But still a washing machine. He's strong.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, yeah. I mean, yeah, he is, right?
He's lived in a washing machine.
I did notice that when David Earl has to pick him up, they cut away for that one. Because he's not nearly half as big of a unit as that Welsh guy is.
No.
No, I think he's... I think he's got a physical performer, and I know a guy voices him, but it's obviously run through like multiple distortion layers because
Okay.
a lot of this is improv.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of the David Earl and a lot of the Brian and actual Charles stuff in when they're just riffing is all just completely made up.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it. I think this was a short film that kind of was a much more simplistic version of this. It was just them two in a flat, and then they fight, and Charles runs away, and then Brian goes and finds him, and then everything's happy again.
Yeah.
I suppose my only criticism of this, and I think you'll agree with it, is I don't think they evolved it too much beyond that for a feature.
Not really. No.
They added in an angry Welsh bloke, but that was about it. Also, does he run a fucking cult, that Welsh guy? 'Cause his family are all just knobs, but like they also have like the village barbecue that everyone's like, "Whoa, it's a big event."
I think it's just a bonfire night, isn't it? Everyone goes to the bonfire night.
Yeah, but he's not even like. It's just like he's burning a weird assortment of things, like, but they're selling things like you would do at a fireworks display.
I don't think you've ever been to a bonfire night.
Is that what they're like?
I mean, yeah, they're just people gathering around to watch the man burn.
Oh, leave them alone. It's nasty. All right.
You've never been to a bonfire night in your life, have you?
No, I haven't.
Look at it. Lawrence learns about the common man. Lawrence never steps out of High-Sea Castle as a kid. So no, he gets a chance to learn about the everyday common man.
I'm like, what's this? A fire, but it's not coming out of a chimney? What's going on? I don't recognise it.
You've had a fucking sheltered life.
I just haven't been to a bonfire night. I don't.
How have you not been to a You're fucking, what, 25? How have you not been to a bonfire night?
I just haven't been to a bonfire.
Even as a kid, it's like, it's a tradition.
I mean, maybe I did go to one as a kid.
I haven't been to one in about fucking 7-8 years at least,
Yeah.
out of choice, because I don't see the point in them anymore. But as a kid, you get dragged along.
I went to like firework displays as a kid, which seemed very similar, except the fire's in the sky and not.
Well, yeah, firework displays are a part of it as well.
Yeah. Oh, what
But
they're simultaneous, or
Yeah, it's the bonfire night and the fireworks. You have them both in one.
I genuinely think I've never done one properly, because every fireworks display I've been to just has not had a random bonfire at the bottom.
Do you know what the bonfire is?
Yeah, a little fire thing that people throw their shit on.
Do you know why?
Right, Nathan, I think it's pretty clear that I know, but why don't you tell our listeners that maybe don't know?
Alright, okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Alright, so because you've lived such a sheltered life, and because you grew up in the castle, you probably didn't learn, or maybe you did at school, but did you learn about Guy Fawkes and the gunpowder plot?
So, right, yeah, but this is the same thing, is it?
Yeah, this is what
I know
it is.
about
So
Guy Fawkes and November 5th and all of that, yeah.
that's what it is. That's why you have the bonfires for Guy Fawkes.
See, I thought it was just the fireworks. I didn't realise bonfires were a part of it.
Remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. I see no reason the 5th of November should ever be forgot.
I've never heard it past plot. I've heard the first stanza / verse, whatever you want to call it.
In hindsight, looking back at Bond, I always thought, because I'm...
We're just having a chat here, aren't we?
No, we'll just have fun with the movie. Because I'm I've always grown up, well, of course, I grew up very working class. I'm from a very working class background. My family are all very working class people.
Yeah.
From the north of England. Obviously, hate all Tory scum. So I've always seen Bonfire Night as kind of like a celebration of Guy Fawkes, as someone who is trying to take back control, because he tried to blow up Parliament because he wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
But looking back on it now, it's very much the opposite of that. It's very much, oh no, we're going to punish him. We're going to burn him alive. And all celebrate as fireworks go off in the sky.
You thought you were going out for to finish Guy Fawkes' mission, are you?
Yeah, we're wearing our V for Vendetta masks. We're all like, Viva la Revolution. We're all ready to overthrow Parliament.
Yeah.
As we often are in my house.
Of course.
But no, it's very clearly just Tory propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Formed into a holiday.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
One of our weird British traditions to keep us all in line.
I'll be honest, when I was a child, I never thought about it beyond, this is where I can go to get a budget lightsaber that is multicoloured.
You don't go there for a lightsaber, you go there for a toffee apple.
We grew up in very different parts of the country.
Oh, we did. Yeah, you probably had your caviar and smoked
Yeah,
salmon.
me in Cambridge. Just go,
You never had a toffee apple?
Tell a lie, I have, but it was when I was 21 at Winter Wonderland.
Oh, fucking hell, of course.
It's a good time. I'll be honest, I liked it for a few bites, and then I thought, this is really irritating to eat.
It is, yeah. It's great for the first few bites or so, but then you realise it's saying that this is going to take you like at least an hour.
Yeah, and
to
I
get
don't have
through.
I don't have the patience to be holding that for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, just throw it in the bin.
Yeah. It brushes
or
alongside anything. You say you're wearing a coat,
Yeah, it's-
brushes alongside that, and you now got a furry apple.
Ruined.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flies on it or everything.
Yeah, true.
Bad stuff.
Anyway, thanks for listening to our review of Bonfire.
What else should we talk about?
Let's do Christmas next. I like that the this is I can see that this is me just reading my notes at this point, just scrambling for any
No,
content.
go on. Just read them out verbatim.
I want to make it very clear. I like this movie. That Nathan is necessarily.
Yes, I do too.
It's just not much to talk about in it.
Yeah, it's a movie that you watch and you go, oh, that was fun, and then you never think about it again.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's a pleasant time. You can have a nice hot chocolate and a I don't know, a Snickers whilst you watch it. Whatever you like to do on an evening to relax.
Do you know what? I did have a hot chocolate, and I watched it this morning, which I can see is extremely weird.
You had a hot chocolate in the morning?
Well, when I say morning,
What sort
like,
of a monster are you?
no, like 10 a.m. late morning.
So the morning.
For you, perhaps. I'm up at 5:45.
Well, all right, great, well done. What time you doesn't get up doesn't change what the morning is.
No, but it's like late morning, isn't it? For example, no, but I think you can perceive it differently. If I woke up at 9...
yeah, sorry, I forgot. This is the man who will also order himself a Subway or a Burger King at like 9.
I don't do... Subway, I'll admit to. I've never done a Burger King that early. I don't think you can do a Burger King that early.
I'm sure you'll find it.
Not for lack of trying, after all. I'm just going to read my notes verbatim. This was fun. We always like to see a random British film produced by Channel 4 and the National Lottery. It's just a mark of we really needed some money here.
Yeah.
But I like it. This is a classic kind of success story in terms of a true indie picture. Script was written about 10 years ago. It was a short film that was critically acclaimed. It became a feature film that no one will watch. That is the life cycle of most indie movies.
Yep.
But if you happen across it, like we have said, even though there's not much to say about it, it's a good time. Good fun 90 minutes. We love a short one.
We do.
We love a breezy boy. I've said that the outside is cold, but his house, despite it being kind of lonely, and you see a guy comes around to have a look at his electric meter. He's clearly a bit uncomfortable in it because it's obviously very homely to how Brian likes it and messy. But I like that it's lit in a really warm kind of, you got your yellows and your oranges, and it's a really warm, nice environment. It's not like, even though he's in a zipped up hoodie and jumper for most of the movie, clearly expressing that he is cold as shit and maybe doesn't pay for his heating or anything like that, he's obviously still very happy and content, which I liked. It was nice. Do you think that this movie implied at any point that it was almost telling the story of Frankenstein's monster?
No.
Specifically because Charles doesn't work, and then there is an electrical storm, and then Charles works.
I see what you're grabbing at,
Yeah.
but Frankenstein's monster is more the fact that it's like a collection of people all stitched together to form one being.
Is he multiple people, Frankenstein?
Yeah, that's this whole deal, man. He's like this person's arm, this person's leg, this person's brain.
Oh, no, his, physical body. I thought you meant, his brain was the amalgamation of multiple people.
No.
Okay.
No. He has one brain.
Yeah.
But of course the real monster is Dr. Frankenstein.
That is true. That is true.
Something to think about. I bet I'm the first person to bring that up.
Yeah, I think he might be. I think we should go into that right now. I've said he sings Charles a lullaby, and it made me cry. It was extremely heartwarming, and I loved it.
When did he sing Charles' Lullaby?
When Charles was getting stressed out, and he sung him. It was either Silent Night or the other one.
Yeah, so he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good time. Where are you? I'll tell you what. We'll wrap up here because somehow we're approaching time.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one kind of thing to ask you. What do you what do you think about the subplot in this where it's kind of debated as to whether Brian is a coward, whether it's even right to be a coward, whether...
Is that a subplot, or is that just something that happens?
No, I think it runs throughout, because you see that almost the entire village cowering away from this angry Welsh man. He leaves, like, he leaves Charles in his care, and Charles very almost burns on a bonfire because of it. And he even goes over to him. He could, if he needed to, smack him and run away, but he doesn't. And I don't know. I just think that's an interesting choice. But where are you at? Because I hate it, and I was really, really hoping it wouldn't be a toxic masculinity. I'm gonna go in, punch him, and save the day at the end of it all. Yeah. I would have hated that, and it wasn't that. But where are you? Where were you at with it? Oh no, he's got nothing. He's got nothing. Oh no.
Yes. It's fucking hell, it's I don't know. I didn't like that. Wasn't it? Didn't fucking hell. Didn't occur to me. It just blew over. I don't fucking know, man. These.
How do you watch movies? Are you just like, now that is happening. Now this is happening. You know,
no,
that's not. I haven't picked something out of thin air. That's in the film.
No, you haven't. You're right. That's there.
Yeah,
it's a part of the movie. But again, there's not much there, though, is it? This is my problem. It's just all like, here is a thing that happens. Sure, it's great that Brian is able to build up his courage and able to take down that other guy whose name I forgot in a way which doesn't just involve him suddenly being a tough guy and going to beat him up.
Yeah.
Sure. He used his brains instead of his brawns. Great. Good stuff. Story I've seen a million times before.
all right, fine.
It's there, it happened. I liked his shit inventions, and that he used a shit invention to defeat him.
Yeah.
What was it? Is Thwacker or something? Whatever it was.
I believe it was referred to as the Super Shover.
The Super Shover. Great, good stuff.
It looked pretty decent. He went...
It did.
He flew. Yeah.
He did. He probably had some sort of concussive damage after that. But no, good for him.
One point, when he fired the cabbage gun and his car slowed down, I was like, is it going to blow up? Has he killed a man over a robot?
I hope so.
Yeah. All right, fine. Nathan, at the start of this, I asked you if you could make any kind of invention that you would greatly benefit from, but would seemingly be useless to anyone else. What would you go for?
I would invent This is probably already a thing. But I would invent a button that I could put on my desk right here. And when I press that button, my computer setup switches from my work computer to my personal computer without me having to change any wires or plug anything in.
Okay. Are you dealing with a lot of wires?
Not really. I have it all configured through to one USB-C plug-in, which I take out of my MacBook and I'll plug into my work.
Would this button like swap over the placement on your desk of the laptops and everything?
Yeah.
I think it would have to, otherwise you've just traded in one hand gesture for another one.
Well, no, but it's a lot easier to press a button than it is to pull out a thing and plug it in. And then I change keyboards and everything, so
that's fair. So it would do that. I'll take that if it does your whole setup for you.
Yeah, it changes my whole setup over with the click of a button.
Maybe even logs you in for good measure. I know you don't want that because then all your stuff is a button away from everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Or your encrypted stuff.
There we go.
Like these files.
I mean, there's almost certainly a way to do that somehow, but
yeah, probably. But you'll have to watch like 8 YouTube tutorials to find out how to configure it all. And
yeah, better just invent a magic button.
Yeah, I think a magic button, especially when in this podcast you have the means to do so. A magic button is better.
If somehow you made it through this far, which you didn't, let's be honest, but if you did somehow. If you, the one person listening to this, made it this far into this episode, then look, they can't all be winners, all right? Every now and then, we just gotta. Lawrence has to suggest a movie where we have nothing to say about it, And then
In my defence, when I suggested this, I hadn't seen it.
maybe you should have watched it first.
It happens. It happens. We've done it before. We've gone in blind on things before.
We've never ended up in this scenario.
No, it's true. It's true.
This one is a first. But look, like I say, they can't all be winners. But we do have a winner in the books, though, don't we, Lawrence?
We have
one stored. We have one edited.
It's on its way. I'm really taking my time with it.
As you should. It's
Yeah.
in the process of being edited. We have two, not one, but two special guests. One you have heard before, and one that you know of, maybe.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Most of our new listeners came from that other guest.
Yeah.
And if you know him, I know...
Oh,
we're getting a bit too close for it there.
Sizzle, hey! Oh! A little sizzle.
Let's be honest, if you care enough, you've figured it out by now.
Maybe. But hey, look, little sizzle. It's gonna be a great time.
Yep.
Mate.
Oh, he's done it. He has confined it to one word like he said he would. I liked it. As Nathan said, if you have made it this far, you're one of the you're a real one. You're a boy.
A true MVP.
You back it, and we back you, and we thank you very much. You can give us a little follow. You are cordially invited to follow us at Another Happy Pod on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, where we post little updates. And
TikTok's coming back for the 100th episode, baby.
Yeah.
Saying it here now. Once the 100th episode is out, I'll be foolish not to.
You'd be very foolish not to.
Yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of that and make some TikToks.
I think we'll work on that one together and get them done.
That's fair.
So TikTok's making a comeback. So give us a little follow there. And if you like this, you can have maybe give us a little review. I've noticed if you go on the top of our Spotify, it tells you that we've had 20 reviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 20 reviews. We're averaging at like...
Can you read them?
No, I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe there's a way of when we're logged in on our provider or not, but like...
Reviewers on Spotify, I'm not even sure that you can write a review. I think it is just a tap.
I think it is a number because it's given us a number like 4 point something average, so...
Well, there you are. So, whoever's not top 5 stars, I will kill you. But go out there, tap 5 stars on Spotify, and then go over to Apple Podcasts and do the same. Just cheat the numbers.
Yeah, cheat the numbers. Listen, it very much so helps us out, and we are actually actively trying to make this podcast better.
Yes.
And around about episode 70, we went, we should really focus on this a bit more. And we're trying to do that.
We're trying to make it more enjoyable and appealing. We enjoy it. But hey, we also enjoy
money.
No, come on.
Money and your time. We will capitalise on your content and your energy. Give it to us for money.
Yes, and stay tuned for something else in the works, which we will keep teasing.
We will keep teasing. Separate to the 100th episode. This episode is mostly plugs. At this point, for stuff that we're not even telling you about yet, as well.
It's banner and secret plugs, so
and some light talk about British customs. Yes. So there we go.
Maybe we should have a new segment where we teach Lawrence about just everyday the working man's culture, of which he has never known.
Nathan, what is the pound sterling?
Great. So yeah, where are we? Come back next week where we're doing this.
How long we hang on, how far we get, how many of us make it out, all of that is now up to us.
What a fun, spooky time for everyone involved.
Why was this spooky?
I don't know.
You've defaulted. You've gone back. You've gone back to Nathan, who's like, half here.
What a fun time. What a great time. What a happy time. What a happy pod. Thank you for listening. My name is Nathan. Thank you for joining me, Lawrence, on my podcast.
You're welcome, mate.
And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Same outfits. I will not shower.
Oh, you should.
I'm a dirty boy. Oh. What can I say?
I don't like this.
I don't either.
I don't like any of this.